Hi, I'm Nienke from Yoga Bliss, and this little short video is a little bit of somatics yoga for the hips. I kind of call it hippie somatics. I love somatic yoga. It's a wonderful practice that can help you release chronic tension. And I actually have been having some issues in one side on my hip. And this is my go-to. I seem to just get on the floor, do a little bit of somatic yoga, and it makes such a difference. So we're going to lie down for this one. We're going to be down on the ground. And there's a few little things I'm sneaking in to work with the hip. And some of my favorites, the clam shell and the mermaid tail. So I hope you enjoy. So moving into what I call Cleopatra position. You want a neutral spine for this. It doesn't matter which side you start with because we're going to do both sides. Okay, and you want to have your spine neutral, your neck neutral with your spine, with the rest of your spine. So you can rest your head on your arm. Your arm can be bent or straight. You can decide what works best for you. I like mine bent. You could also have a pillow if you preferred, and the pillow was high enough that kept your neck neutral. We're going to start actually just giving the hip a massage. You can just take your hand and kind of feel the outer part of the hip. Like I know when this is the side that for me I do feel chronic pain here. And when it's triggered or aggravated, it's like to even touch it feels like it's bruised. And it's actually feeling really good today. So I'm not feeling that bruise. But that can be one way for you to check in with your body. Again, is by touch. And one way to soothe the body is the massage. Now, what I want to do, we're going to actually do our clamshells and our mermaid, which are great for the hips. So I want to start with a little bit of a quad stretch, just because we're working with all these muscles that are in our upper leg, and the femur is a part, the top of the femur thigh bone is a part of the hip joint. So just go ahead and take the top foot if you can, as long as there's no knee issues to do this. And then rest. Don't try and hold the leg, but rest it on the bottom leg. So if you need to, for now, just lose that 90-degree angle, you could. And then drawing your heel toward the buttock and just feeling or finding some sensation in the quad. We'll just hold this for a few breaths. Okay, if this bothers your knee, do what you need to so it feels better for your knee, or skip it altogether. So somatics is great to release chronic tension, but we do want to think about if we're kind of bringing our own little therapy into these aches and pains in our body or places. We do want to think about stretching, of course, but doing it, especially if we are feeling injured or feeling inflammation, or we have a diagnosis of some sort. It's important that we don't do nothing, because then we just seize up even more. Okay, go ahead and release and do any movement with your leg. Come back to that 90-degree angle. Before we go into the clamshell, I'm going to get you to just slide forward and back a little bit here. So your top knees are together, but purposely slide the top leg further so the knee comes past the bottom leg. Okay, and then draw it back past where they're stacked, so pulling the knee back further. So let this movement come from the hip. And just creating a little bit of mobility here first before we do our clamshell. Good. And then you could even do almost like take the knee in a circle. So the top knee around the bottom knee, as if it's circling the circumference of the bottom knee. But again, allow the movement to come from the hip. And then you could circle the other way. So just bringing some healthy mobility into the hip. One more circle. If this feels okay, and again, if we're doing anything, you're just like, oh, I don't like this. Something doesn't feel right. You're not sure, even if you're not sure what it is. Listen to that inclination. Your intuition is usually right. So really listen to that. Okay, so for the clamshell, to start, just imagine the inside of the feet are glued together. And you're going to inhale and lift the top knee off the bottom knee. Now remember to keep your spine neutral. And then exhale, lower it down slowly, and then relax. And repeat. Clamshell lift and lower and relax. Remember to always have that relaxed place at the end. Okay. And here, really make an effort that you're moving from the hip. So for example, if you used your feet as a lever, pushing your feet towards each other to open, it's very different than consciously moving from the hip, letting the feet be more relaxed. Okay, next time we open the clamshell, we're going to hold it open and breathe and feel. So this is the contraction. Make sure it's not bothering, it's not causing more. If you do have some discomfort, no more discomfort that you arrived with, or let's say pain, because some discomfort's welcome in our body to give it healthy stress. Now, as we release it, you're going to do it extra slow, okay? So you could even do it maybe 2 or 3 breaths. Exhale, start to lower. Okay, I'm all the way down now. Fully relax. When you come down, fully relax and feel and notice. Ooh. Okay, the resting is so important that we have this resting. Now the mermaid tail, so that now your knees stay glued and you lift the foot up into the sky. So it's like your little mermaid fin tail, the end of the tail, slowly lower it down. Good. And again, you're not like moving your body or rocking as you're doing this. You're trying to imagine you're moving from the hip. Feel which muscles, glutes. I can feel it in the back of the legs, the front of the legs, maybe the inner groin. You might notice it, maybe in your back. Ooh. Again, you don't have to overdo this. You need to take a pause, skip one, and just have an extra breath, resting breath. Okay, but we're going to do the hold. So the next time you do lift, holding your mermaid tail, feeling the contraction. Where can you relax as you do this? Like there may be other places that are like tensing, like could be even your face, your jaw. Okay, then when you low down, go 2 breaths at least, maybe even 3. Slowly. Fully relax. Just fully relax your top leg. Okay, I'm gonna invite you to straighten your legs here. And we're gonna do the somatic scissors. So this one's also supposed to be good for the outer hip. If you do want to lift your head a little bit, you could prop up uh, with your head on your hand, okay, and have your legs somewhat straight. I like to take my top hand and pup tent the fingers just to support. And then we're going to slowly lift the leg and just to wherever it gets to that feels like it's enough. And this leg, I can't get it very high, so you don't force it and you slowly lower it down. Good. And we'll just do that a few times. Inhale, lift. Oh, that time allowed me to go a little higher. Slowly release. Remember to have the full relax when your leg comes down. Relax all the muscles. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, we're going to do one more time and hold it. Inhale and exhale, slowly release it. So again, it might be 2 or 3 breaths. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, roll on your back. Oh, if you like, just go into the corpse pose. Notice the difference. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Take a deep breath, sigh it out. Hmm. Okay, we're going to switch sides and just take our time to roll over. Starting just comfortable. Neutral's fine. Oh. Do you feel like a straight arm for your head or a bent arm, or however, or a pillow? Okay, but we're going to start with a quad stretch. Take a hold of the top foot, and you could straighten your legs out a little bit here, or adjust your bottom leg so your top leg, you're not lifting it, you want it relaxed down. And you're just pulling the heel toward the buttock. And if you're not feeling sensations, if you are, that's great, just feel them. But if you're not feeling sensations, you need to kind of slide the knees back a bit. So do whatever you need to do. And if this doesn't work out, because if you have knee issues, this might be contraindicated because it's a deep bend in the knee, a deep flexion. And as you're holding it, relax, like your top leg especially, relax the muscles because we're not warmed up for a somatic class. The muscles are not warmed up. And that way, when we do the stretches, it's more like a yin pose where we're targeting the connective tissue that is in the muscle because we have fascia in the muscle, but also the connective tissue at the hip joint and the knee joint for this one. Okay, go ahead and release. You can bend the legs now 90 degrees. Give your top hip now a massage. Check in. Feel, notice, observe with affectionate awareness. We're not judging. Are you finding tender spots? Just make note of that. There might be some inflammation there. Okay, and then we're going to do the slide, the knee slide. So it's not like you're rocking your body, your hips here. You're just taking your hip forward so the knee slides forward off the bottom knee, and then you slide the knee back. So it comes off the knee again, and then just a forward and back. Just noticing if it feels better to have your top hand on the floor, pop 10 fingers to create that little bit of stability so you're not rocking the whole body. It's just a very subtle movement. And then you could do the circle. So the knee kind of goes around the circumference of the bottom knee. But again, try to let this movement come from the hip. Like notice if everything else is trying to take over. Let it come from the hip. I mean, yes, we are using the other muscles and the core muscles. And circle the other way. And make sure you're breathing. Okay, and then rest. Ooh. Okay, so you now keep the feet glued together. We're going to do the clamshell. So you're going to open up the knees. So lift your top knee up and then lower the knee back down. So this, again, just check your spine is neutral. Lift up, do it slowly, and slowly release it down. When it does come down, remember to have that moment of just let your legs relax, your hips relax. And see if you can find the effort here. So much effort. And again, if you're noticing something on the other side somewhere, just make note of that. Yes, our body works together, it's connected, but we want to focus. So remember before I mentioned, it's if you push your feet towards each other, the inside feet together, and use almost like a lever feeling to open the knees. It's not to say that's wrong to do it that way, but just for this, I want you to isolate with your brain, moving from the hip, like your feet are lightly touching. Okay, the next time you open, hold. I think we clamshelled a lot there. Okay, so as you hold, again, try to isolate those muscles or really feel where they're active. Maybe you touch, like I can just feel like, wow, they're strong. And then when you're ready, slowly exhale, maybe 2 or even 3 breaths. I find this is really hard to do, by the way. So before we do our mermaid, now you're imagining knees glued together. When you're ready, lift the top foot like a mermaid tail. Lower down slowly. Relax. And again, purposely moving from the hip. So don't feel like you're pushing your knees, your top knee into the bottom of the knee to lever the foot up, but you're actually really working from the hip. This takes mindfulness. It does take a lot of awareness. This is a part of the brain, Jim, okay, that reminds us. That sometimes we end up exploiting maybe where we're stronger in the body, but then the problem is the weaker areas don't end up gaining strength. Okay, next time you lift your mermaid tail, hold, and just hold for a few breaths. So again, feel it, notice it. Good. When you're ready, you're going to do the slow release, 2 or 3 breaths. And once you are released, fully relax. Straightening out your legs. Oh, I just find it amazes me every time. The somatic yoga relaxes my nervous system quicker than any other style of yoga. Okay, lifting up the leg like scissors and then slowly lowering down. Now, yes, you do need to use your core here, and you're using lots of muscles in the body to do this. Again, just maybe just sense moving from the hip and how that actually, when you really think about it, it might change how you do it and how it feels. Because, like, what I find I do is the opposite leg is trying to over help. And yes, it does help. Okay, and the next time, well, you can hold it. My leg's actually getting really tired. And you could hold it for a few breaths. Ooh. Okay, but then when you're ready, because I'm ready, you can slowly lower it. Do it a bit slower, maybe a couple breaths, 2 or 3. Maybe I'm just getting tired now. Oh, and then this is where I just like to flop. Flop onto your back and take a deep breath, let it go and feel. Taking this moment to fully relax, integrating from the somatic movement, noticing how you feel. And I thank you for practicing today, honoring the light within you. Namaste.